Good morning, New York. This is the Jayson Buford Show. I'm your host, Jayson Buford, as usual. We have my main man, Rich Juzwiak, with us to talk Oscars. We're going to talk Oscars. Rich is like a foxhole person. He's one of my best friends in media and generally speaking, just like a very good friend. And we love talking movies, and so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. Okay, so 2026 Academy Awards. The nominations came out in was it late January. It came out something like that. Yeah, roughly.
Usually after the Golden Globes.
Yeah, roughly came out then. I'm very interested in this year. I think it's going to be an interesting year of. There's a lot of stars in it. There's a lot of movies that meant a lot to people. It's a very robust year for a lot of different categories. I think particularly in the best actor category, that might be the best category in a very long time. The best supporting actor category is also very good as well. So besides one, which we'll get to, but
right. Supporting actress not so good.
Not so good. Yeah,
given the
yeah.
front runner.
Yeah. But we and we'll get to all that. We'll definitely get to all that. Movies in 2025. What did they mean to you personally?
Not much. I thought this was actually a really weak year. I love Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme felt like when I watched that, I was like, oh, this is a movie I'll be watching for the rest of my life. And Weapons, I think, is just like wonderfully bizarre. I love that a movie that weird that takes so many swings did so well and resonated with people. Like that gives me hope, because it shows that we're not necessarily condemned to this franchise superhero nightmare that cinema has become. And one thing I'll say too that I also kind of felt last year and I've been feeling for a while is that I love that movies are now very divisive. It felt like there was an orthodoxy for a while, especially kind of like in the terrible kind of Obama and post-Obama Twitter era of just, people falling all over themselves to say the right thing and to castigate people who don't. It just really felt like people were in such lockstep about so much of this stuff. And I noticed last year, and I noticed this year, especially with things, especially like Hamnet, that they're just so divisive. And that I think is a great thing for movies, even if I'm falling on the side of I don't like most of these movies that are divisive. I'd still much rather have a movie that people are debating about than a crappy movie that everybody is agreeing is art.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about the woke era actually on my way here, on my way back home. And I was thinking about what people don't understand is it's possible to be quote unquote like the problem with the word woke is that like nobody knows what it actually means.
Right.
It's
been so perverted by the right, especially that it's like, and that's such a right wing thing to do, to take black speech and to turn it into a negative.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that people don't get that, I find really distasteful. But what you're about to say, I think, is that it's possible to believe in social justice and also be completely turned off by the way that people apply it or use it as kind of social currency or to build out their brand. All that stuff is gross to me.
Right. Can you be woke and cool? Can you actually like there's you're woke, but then there's like you're cool. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like that's like all those things both should be going hand in hand. They shouldn't be one and the other, right?
Yeah.
And so many movies that we saw were like one or the other. Remember Hidden what was the movie about
Hidden Figures? The women astronauts.
The women in NASA,
yeah. They weren't astronauts. They were just on the ground for sure. Well, but that movie was wild because it like totally made up that scene that never happened with the it was like the white boss guy taking down the sign that was pertaining to segregation, and it just never happened.
Yeah, that's never happened. Yeah,
exactly. So then the woke in me is like, well, why do you have to create these scenarios in which the white people are heroes? Like that triggers my woke sense, Exactly. I hate that. But also, that movie was like fine and it had some good performances from some very good actors, but it was given undue attention, I think, for ultimately just being a fine movie that, you can barely remember the name of today.
Yeah. It's It is definitely, we are definitely not in that area anymore.
Right.
In terms of cinema, but yeah, I mean, I could talk about that stuff all day. It's just like the idea that there is one or the other, and you get this, you see that a lot in American society, generally speaking, where it's like either you're super woke and you're just like, but it's like almost like a flattening of a personality, almost, right? You make social justice your personality, or like you just have like taste and you have and it's, you know, you're just interesting, and like I think we miss that in a lot of relations between people in American life, but also especially in the movies. But I do think this was like, I disagree with you a little bit. I really like some of the movies on this Best Picture list, and just movies in general in 2025. I thought there was a lot of really good quality stuff. I also like Marty Supreme, but I also love One Battle After Another. I also love you know, I love aspects of Sinners. We'll get to Sinners. Like, I don't love all of it. I love aspects of it. I mean, I thought F1 was a fun picture. I don't know why it's nominated for Best Picture, but I thought it was a little fun, you know, little dad movie. You know, I'm not down with the Yorgos thing anymore. I'm just not down with it. He's nominated, but I just can't. I just don't really get what he's going for constantly. And I do understand a lot of the plot stuff and like the crazy kind of like brain aspects of a lot of his conspiracy aspects of a lot of his movies, but I just don't feel like he's employing them in the right space. It's just a fraud mentality to me.
Yeah. I like Bugonia. That's actually one of the ones that I would say like really did affect me. And but I also kind of understand coming away with it with like, what was that actually? Because it seems to kind of, you know, spoiler alert, obviously we're going to be talking about these movies that are out, that have been out for a while. So I think spoilers are fair game here. But, you know, the movie seems to ask like, what if the conspiracy theorists are right? And it's like, wait, what is that message? like, why are we entertaining that? Like, why do we even need to kind of think about that?
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, look, in 2026, like a lot of the conspiracy stuff people are talking. Like, did you see this recent Courtney Love thing, which I saw floating on my timeline? Like, so many people have been talking about that for years. This is finally the year in 2026. Like, people, they're starting to think about these things. Like, okay, maybe all these things are true. Maybe all these things are possible. So I do understand the movie from that aspect of it.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was kind of wild. You know, I love that the movie just kind of it sits amusingly for a while, and you're kind of laughing at these people, and then you kind of understand the deadliness, the fatality that underscores this kind of way of thinking and living. The movie kind of like it hides in a corner and it bites you when you least expect it, you know, and then that kind of the conspiracy turns out to be true. I thought was just like hilarious on its face. If that is actually what happened, because I've also heard an alternate explanation that like when she gets thrown across the room by the blast from her closet, it's actually that was the bomb going off, and that from then on out is kind of a fantasy in her head, right? That the alien stuff didn't really happen. It's just kind of this dream of what if. So I really like that interpretation as well.
But yeah, look, she's a very talented actress too.
She is.
She's a very, very talented actress. Yes. She's good. You know, she's already won 2 Oscars.
Right. Deserved one, but she certainly deserved it. You know, for Poor Things, I think that's like a Chaplin-esque performance. I mean, who among any of Hollywood could do that? Really.
I also don't really like Poor Things either as a movie. I just find it really flat.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, kind of boring. Like, you know, the feminist story, but there's nothing actually in it. Besides, quite frankly, that's a very woke film about a quote-unquote woke film about feminism and about womanhood. But I don't think there's like any rosebud in it. They're just like, why am I watching this actually?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I think that movie is an interesting study in like
male entitlement.
Also, the pragmatism of sex, where like she really has no sense of the world. It's similar to that movie, You Will Not Be Alone. About did you ever see that? It's like a Romanian folktale. I think it's Romanian.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's about this like witch that is able to jump bodies by consuming people, and so this it's about a witch that like enchants a young girl to be able to do this. So she kind of discovers what womanhood is, and as a young girl, but through that kind of pure lens that hasn't been indoctrinated by society, she's like, wait a minute, this is so fucked up that I'm being asked to submit. And I think it's a similar thing with sex in Poor Things, where she kind of discovers it without the indoctrination of shame, right? So I think it's kind of like useful in that respect. I feel like it does kind of have a message there. I did enjoy the one tweet, I forget who sent it, that was like, this movie looks like Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. That I totally agree with.
Yeah, the black and white. Yeah.
It's not perfect, but I do think her performance is fucking
She's
amazing,
great.
and
Yeah,
I'm so glad that she won the award for that.
My
movie.
favorite movie he's done is still The Favorite. Like, that's
The
still
favorite. The favorite's awesome.
That's still my favorite movie.
Dogtooth actually might be my favorite movie of his. Like, I think that was his first feature.
That is his first one.
Yeah, and I love that movie so much. The Lobster was like half and half for me.
I just, The Lobster's also one of those like big brain movies where like it's not as smart as it thinks it is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like it's a decent satire. I get the satire aspect of it. I just don't think it's as smart as it thinks it is.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, we live in a society that's very heteronormative. We all know this. Like, It's, but look, like, Bayoni is nominated. We got F1. We have Frankenstein. We have Hamnet. We have Marty Supreme. We have One Battle After Another. We have The Secret Agent. We have Sentimental Value. We have Sinners. We have Train Dreams. Yes. All right, we could talk about all these movies, but we one, don't want to, and two, we don't have the time. Like, I think this is going to be a battle between One Battle After Another or Sinners. Like, I don't think it's possible for anything else to win other than those two.
I don't think so either.
For a lot of different reasons. One of them, I think, is like both of those movies made a lot of money for studios. Yes. But also, secondly, I think they both have a cachet culturally in 2025, right?
I agree.
In a lot of ways, so for the listeners out there, Rich and I disagree vehemently on One Battle After Another. We're both on the opposite sides of this. Like, I'll see the floor to you.
And, well, just for you, I rewatched it because I rewatched it this weekend because we were going to have this conversation. And, I thought, like, this is a movie that, like, is, in my experience, universally acclaimed. I've met very few. I hear about it being divisive among people.
On Twitter, there's a divisiveness on Black Twitter I've seen.
Okay, well, I love that for Black Twitter. That's good. We need that space. But whenever I talk about it with people, like literally every conversation I've had, aside from your birthday, everybody loves this movie, and I do not love this movie, and I don't like this movie, and I don't really understand why people like this movie. I want to hear from you about that specifically. To me, like, there's so much wrong with the script. The script falls so flat. The characters are so one-dimensional, and I can't believe that this movie is structured like, okay, I'm going to do a thing, and then that thing happens, and then we move on to the next thing. It feels so plotting to me. I've heard people talk about it being exciting. Aside from the car chase, which I find completely unrealistic, that like Leo is looking for the car among these like huge sweeping roads and hills, and he finds the car. Aside from that, I found it completely unexciting. I thought that all of the kind of eccentricity that's imbued, like the pot growing nuns, is so surface level. Like, it's just a thing. To me, it feels like putting a movie together 101, And I do think that there are good shots in it. Like, it's not an incompetent movie. Sometimes to me the script is incompetent. Having Teyana Taylor's character say revolutionary violence is the only way as a revolutionary is laughable to me. And we have a friend, Joe Coscarelli, who I don't want to speak for, but he definitely is more kind of like on my side of things. And his interpretation is that the movie is kind of anti-woke. It's kind of making fun of this stuff, which I appreciate as an interpretation. That's a way of kind of like finding the worth in it, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I think that
okay, so I also think the movie's anti-woke, but not in that way.
Okay, tell me.
I think it's anti-woke in the way where the scene in particular, it's anti-pronoun and it's anti,
Yes,
remember?
it's anti-pronoun.
Yeah, right. Or I don't want to say it's anti-pronoun so much as it's like, okay, there's identity and then there's real work, right? I don't want to say it's anti-anything. I don't think the movie's anti-anything, actually. I think what the movie's saying is that there's identity and then there's real work, right? Like, so Benicio del Toro's character, for example, who's my favorite part of the movie, that hour that you're with Benicio and he's running his underground railroad, I think is like one of the most brilliant, inventive type of filmmaking I've seen all year. Like, I thought that the set design was great. That's the underrated part, that the set design's great.
That's true.
The apartment building, that the cell phone store, the electronics store into the apartment buildings, that I think is just great, brilliant stuff, really, really great stuff. Like, and in the church, and it's just really, and then the skateboarders, like all that stuff is really great. I think it's really well done. I think what a lot of the movie's trying to say is that there's identity and then there's real work that Benicio is doing, right? Benicio is doing real underground work for no money. It's not like, he's not the wokest guy ever. He's not the wokest cat ever, right? Like, he's not, the pronouns and everything, but he does understand community. He does understand, okay, like, I have my people, Bob needs help, I'm going to help him, I'm going to help my people, etc. He does understand those things. So I think what the movie's trying to say is, like, they're going to try to make it into a Trump movie, but a lot of it isn't really about, like, quote-unquote, being woke and, like, understanding pronouns. Like, Leo's asks his daughter, is that a she or they or them, right? Like, it's not a, and also, like, and this is one thing that had happened on gay Twitter is, like, one of the people said they didn't like that the white non-binary person ended up snitching. But but I think that that could also be interpreted as they have a lot more to lose than some of her other friends do.
Definitely,
right? That could also be interpreted as that, right? Not just a thing about them being white, right? The non-binary person being white. Which is also another interpretation, right? Like, that's also like a fair interpretation on both ends, I would say. I think that the movie is great when it is particularly about the work of community and about people choosing love in their darkest moments. And also, it's a great movie about white supremacy and about the way it corrupts inside, not just the way it corrupts outside, right? So Lockjaw as a character is struggling with the fact that he actually desires people of color, but does not know how to express that because he's part of this white supremacist world.
Yes, and he needs to erase that. I do think that, like, having your mega villain, like, having his main kind of preoccupation being joining a club feels like so, like, what are we doing here? Like this is what this guy is about. Who cares,
But that's what they're all about. Like, that's what a lot of these cats are about. Just joining these clubs, Like, with these stupid corner offices, you know what I mean?
It just to me was like a really unexciting way to kind of express this stuff in cinema, and that really kind of struck me on this viewing. Like, I don't know, to me, so much of it falls flat. Even like when we're talking about the pronoun scene where, Leo's daughter's friends pull up and he's like, oh, what is that one? What's the pronoun? And she's like, it's they, them, Dad. It's not hard. I'm just trying to be polite. But it just felt, I don't know, to me it's like that doesn't jump off the screen. That feels like it's being portrayed in a movie. The main thing is that, like, I don't believe that movie for a second, basically. I don't believe any of it, and it's not emphasized enough to be like a full-on satire. So it just sits in this real kind of mid-world where it's like commenting and it's kind of doing things that are somewhat emphasized and outsized, but not enough for kind of like my camp spirit, So fair. I don't know. To me, it just kind of falls flat.
Fair. No. That I actually think that the camp aspect of it. No, but that's interesting though, because you don't think Lockjaw and Teyana Taylor at the beginning of the movie, that's not campy enough for you?
Oh, I mean, to me, that part is too campy then, because that just like seems like out of Russ Meyer when she demands that he produce this erection that he's able to do. It's like a scene that would have been in Super Vixens or something like that. I thought it was like tonally discordant with the rest of the movie.
Yes, it is a little bit. Yes, that is true. It is a little bit.
It's a cartoon
off.
scene.
Yeah, it's a little bit off, right? I actually think Penn is the worst performance out of all the main characters in the movie.
Yeah.
And we'll get to supporting actor, but I think Penn's actually the worst performance in the movie, or the least best. I think he's good when he has some calm to him. Like the scene with the daughter's not bad. And the scene at the end when they finally, you guys should have seen this movie. Spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
The scene where they gas him at the end, he's like good because like I think he finally sees it coming once he sits down at the table. Like he kind of like feels it. He's like, oh shit, they're doing it. Like I think he's better when he's calm, but when he's ever in motion and when he's ever like plotting things out against the French 75 or against Leo and his daughter, he's always rushing. It's a little bit of too much of a physical, hyper-masculine performance. I think it's a little bit too intense and performative. Like, it's just a little bit too much, I think. And that's Penn's issue as an actor in general, I think, right? Like, but I do think Leo's great, and I do think don't love Leo.
I think he's fine. I think he's kind of showing up and doing the work. I guess when we say, actually, the only part of the movie I believe is Teyana Taylor's, the woman who plays her mother, when she's regarding him warily. You know, that I was like, okay, that woman is an actual character. I just don't believe that. I guess if anybody I believe exists outside of this movie, it's Leo. There is a kind of comfort with the material that I get from him. Yeah. You know, Benicio del Toro, I think, is a good point. But I mean, you say we spent an hour with him. I feel like his screen time is like 15 minutes at the most. I
don't think we spend. I don't think we spend an hour with him.
But but his presence is spread over the course of an hour.
Yes. But also, I would say the scene. Yeah, you're right. I would say that the scene with him and he picks him up at the karate studio, or Leo comes to the karate studio and then they start driving together. I would say that scene's like what, 30 minutes, 25?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Maybe 30 minutes. Yeah.
And that is, and so like maybe him too. But in general, to me the movie is just kind of like it's almost got like this kind of like workhorse spirit where everybody showed up to get it done, and that's kind of what they did. Certainly, I don't believe Teyana Taylor at all. I think that's. What?
She's gonna win. She's gonna win.
She's
right?
absolutely gonna win.
She's gonna win.
I know, but look, like whack stuff has been winning Oscars for time immemorial. It's
particularly that category.
That is a cursed category.
That's a cursed category for
a
black
notoriously
women.
cursed category. Well, for any woman, I mean, like, and also like a lot of this stuff has kind of come to light that like the curse of best supporting actress is often related to Weinstein, right? He completely sabotaged Mira Sorvino. I think there might be one or two other examples. So there's those aspects to it as well. But like oftentimes this is the height of an actress's career and it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
And you can like count off the examples. Marissa Tomei, did Mercedes Rule win an Oscar? I think
Marissa Tomei in fairness had in the bedroom afterwards. She had
in the bedroom after she had stuff but the trajectory until then and at that point, and especially the immediate aftermath was like, she is an example, I think, of the cursed of the curse, you know. She did have stuff, and I love her. This is not to slur her at all.
Me too.
And I love the whole thing, because you know there was a big controversy about that back in the day, where people were saying that she was a mistake, that actually like the presenter had read the last nominee off and she didn't actually win the Oscar. This is like a conspiracy theory that people had, that like Entertainment Weekly covered in multiple issues. I thought all that was bullshit. Like, she totally deserved it. And also, like, out of all of those movies that were nominated that year, My Cousin Vinny is the one that people come back to, which isn't that's not the ultimate sign of worth for a movie, but I think it should factor in, and you can't predict the future, but it should factor in way more. There are so many of these Oscar movies that get nominated and are a big deal for their year, and then you don't think of them at all again. Like Still Alice, the one that Julianne Moore won the Oscar for, about early onset dementia. Come on. Who's watching Still Alice in 2026? Yeah. We forgot it. We all have Alzheimer's when it comes to that movie.
That movie's so bad.
It's so bad. There's so many of them too. I mean, if you go back, I mean, there is that like brilliant idea, that brilliant podcast, This Had Oscar Buzz, which is so amazing to just go back and look at these movies that were such a big deal at the time that have not existed at all. Now,
who has seen The Artist in 2025?
Oh my God, The Artist. There are just it's absolutely incredible how many of these movies there are. One Battle After Another, I don't think is one of those movies. I think that movie is here to stay in culture.
No,
I really do.
I think it is. Look, we disagree on the movie. I think it's a great film. I think it's similar to. I always keep comparing it to Silence of the Lambs, where if Silence of the Lambs is about. Hold on, stay with me.
I'm listening. Oh, okay.
If Silence of the Lambs is about white feminism,
is it about white feminism?
I think it's about a lot of things, but in particularly, it is a commentary on feminism. In particularly, I think feminism in that type of field, right? Like,
yes,
20 years from now, Clarice Starling is running for governor of Virginia on a pro-crime, Democrat side on a pro-crime.
Oh, I see what you
platform.
mean. Yes,
Right.
okay, white feminism in that respect.
Right, I love the character. I think she's a great character, and Foster's amazing in it, and it's a terrific movie. But I also think, like, I can see Obama nominates Clarice Starling as the FBI director.
I guess
CIA director. She's running Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, and not to excuse that spirit of the movie, which I totally see, but at least she has a black friend, which is more than in another director's version of that movie in 1991 would not have had somebody who is also like good at what she does and an actual peer to Clarice Starling, who's black. At least the movie does that and says there is a space for women of color in this male-dominated, white-dominated world.
Right, and she has her black homegirl, and
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Clarice is a great character, but I think One Battle After Another, if is about white supremacy in this way, but it takes these different things and puts them in this like pop filmmaking action type of film, right? Yeah. So like where Silence of the Lambs is about feminism, it also has like great action in it, and also has like great editing in it, etc. And I think One Battle After Another is attempting to do the same thing, talk about this larger issue, but also make it slap, essentially.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they remind me of. Look, I think we're up. I think it's going to be One Battle versus Sinners, right? Like
I agree.
Either it's like one of those two. Like
Marty Supreme being a dark horse, maybe, but maybe that's just my feelings getting involved.
I really only think Marty Supreme has a chance of Best Actor.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people are thinking about it in his Best Picture.
I don't think so either.
Look, I'm an Uncut Gems guy. Like I like Marty Supreme's a lot. I'm still an Uncut Gems like stan. I think Uncut Gems
that's fair. I mean, I feel like you could pick like really any of the softie movies and ride for them, and I respect that. I think Marty Supreme is my favorite. It is the one that feels the most classic. And here's what I love the most about it. I love that it has an 80s score in a movie about the 50s, because that's such an 80s thing to do. This is basically a movie. It's like an 80s movie about the 50s, or it's a 2025 movie that's trying to be an 80s movie about the 50s. There's these layers of kind of retro sensibility that really turn me on.
Anachronistic, right? Like it's a very anachronistic movie. Also, people were complaining about the way Marty talks, right? Mm-hmm. Like how Timmy kind of, and this I actually talked about this with you when he played Bob Dylan, where what I think he does a really good job of is he puts Timothée Chalamet in who he is, this New York boy, and puts it in all of his films, where like Marty feels like a New York like millennial kid in the 1950s, right?
Yes,
like,
exactly. But this is his movie stardom. I mean, to me, like what Marty Supreme really drives home is that this guy is a total movie star, and you just there's no. You can't second guess that. It's just clear. It's on the screen. He's incredible.
Very good.
I love that we have him. I love that movie.
Gwyneth is actually my favorite performance in the movie.
She is so good. Yeah. It's disappointing to me that she wasn't nominated. I think that I would have loved to see that. I mean, Abel Ferrara is great in that movie. It's absolutely insane that he's in that movie. He shows up and it's like, Abel Ferrara, okay. And then he has this, it's more than just a cameo. It's more than a bit part. It's an actual supporting role that he's so good in. It's so weird and scary. I love when the movie, that movie to me could take me anywhere it wanted to go. And it does. And I feel like every single tangent and side quest is just as fascinating as the kind of main ping pong, a loser basically getting his moment. He's taking his moment where he can because he knows that this is it for him. It's a movie kind of about failing and about kind of accepting that, not necessarily gracefully, but just accepting it. He's finding his way to
the end scene.
fail.
A lot of people are talking about the final scene, and I actually think the final scene is not joy of fatherhood, but rather, okay, like, this is my responsibility now, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like it's almost he's crying because this is his responsibility now. Like this is
his
now
life.
This is now his life. Yeah,
he's moved on past the ping pong, and now he's got to actually do the thing.
Yeah. It's like, welcome to your, like, that's really what
exactly.
it is. Yeah.
So great. I love that movie so much. That movie kind of like made me believe again, because I watched a bunch of these screeners over the week between Christmas and New Year's, as I always do. And like some of them I like, and a lot of them I didn't like, but that movie I just loved. I love Marty Supreme.
Okay. So Sinners.
Yes.
I recently rewatched it. I went to Regal Times Square a couple weeks ago, and I rewatched it.
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't realize that they were playing it in theaters.
Yeah, reissue. Yeah, and I rewatched it. So I've now seen it 3 times. I saw it opening day. I saw it on the plane to Los Angeles recently. Or was that in Los Angeles? No, it was not Los Angeles. Excuse me, Las Vegas. And I saw it, and then now I saw it 3 times. So now I saw it at Regal Times Square again. Look, the first hour of the movie, when they're getting the juke joint ready, when it's Michael B. Jordan and the twin and Winnie Musaku, who I am arguing for best supporting actress, that would be my pick.
I would love to see it.
That would be my pick. When it's just them and they're getting ready, and it's little Sammy and they're getting the whole thing ready, they're running errand to errand, place to place, people to people, I think it's a fantastic film. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. The detail, the set design, Delroy Lindo's introduction, a lot of this stuff is great. Michael B. Jordan's terrific in it. I think terrific. I actually think the movie's. I actually think, in a weird way, Sinners is kind of sort of like Marty Supreme, in my opinion, where it's a showcase for how good the actor is.
Yeah.
It's actually like all this talk about Coogler this, Coogler that, like, and I get it, he is talented, and we'll get to a lot of the issues I have with the movie, but he is talented. But I actually think that the Sinners is best watched as a showcase for how good Michael B. Jordan is as an actor. Like, he is movie star level great in it. The way, the subtle differences between the twins, the way that Stack jumps off of the car or goes away from the little, like, trunk they're doing, and then, like, walks to the car, and the way how solemn Smoke is, though, right? Like, Smoke is so careful and conservative and solemn, and Stack is so, like, exuberant and charismatic and wild, right? And, you know, one's dating within his own race, the other one's kind of dating this, like, octoroon girl, and it's not really I think Haley Stockman's, like, fucking bad in the movie.
Yeah, she's not great. Not great.
She's not great.
No, but you can tell him apart without announcement.
Can I imitate her in that one scene? But you're,
yes.
But you're stuck in dick inside of me. And but you stuck your tongue inside of me and fucked me so hard. Like, what the fuck are you doing here, bitch? Right. Why are you in this fucking movie?
Yeah. I do like that stuff as well, even though I find it a little bit kind of meandering. But it kind of all culminates in this scene that weaves the history of black music together in this kind of montage, this free-flowing montage. And I kind of felt like that the whole point of that, the thesis of that scene is like black music.
It's too 2015. It's too elder millennial. It's too what we were just talking about. It's too woke. Like, it's just too, like, it's too rap is the blues, and it's like, okay, we get it.
We've known that. And like, who are you speaking to? Is it to the white people in the audience that don't know that and they're not going to get this anyway, or is it to the people that, like, already know that black music is this rich tradition and that you can draw a line from the past to the present? Like, to me, it just felt like much ado, not about nothing, because obviously this is an important point, but just like much ado about that which we already are aware.
It just feels like something that would have came out in the Obama era. It's totally not. It's too To Pimp a Butterfly-y. It's just like, we get it. We know that stuff. We know it. Yeah. We know it. We already know it. Like, I think I wish he trusted the audience more throughout the film.
Yeah.
Like, when in doubt, trust the audience. Because even if the people don't get it, like, it doesn't matter. And even if when you don't trust the audience, the people who do get it because they're not smart enough not to get it, like, the people who do get it, it's still not going to stick with them. Like, they're not going to, like, you know what I mean? Like, the type of people who watch Sinners who, like, needed that scene to get it aren't actually, like, down. Like, they don't actually like Sinners, you know? Like, they like it, but they're not gonna watch Sinners again. I just feel like he chased such a different level. He chased an acceptance that didn't actually need to be. The movie could have just been what it is, and it didn't have the flashbacks at the end to plot stuff. Not good. Yeah. Not good.
Kind of clunky.
Clunky. Very Marvel-y. I worry maybe Marvel has kind of twisted with his brain a little bit. I'm inclined to think that maybe that was studio notes, that the studio was like, oh, they're not gonna get it. And they made him do that stuff, but I don't know because he negotiated the whole like percentage thing. So maybe.
So why wouldn't he have final cut?
Right. Wouldn't he have final cut in that way? Like I hope he's not Marvel brained. I think he's a talented director.
Me too.
I love Creed. Love Creed.
Yeah.
Love Creed.
I mean, I liked Fruitvale Station a lot.
I like Fruitvale Station. Tough movie for me to watch, but a Creed.
I'm
is
sure.
Like,
yeah.
Creed is like I love. I think Creed is pop entertainment. It's interesting. It's talking about like a different form of masculinity. I think it has like a point about a different form of masculinity in the theaters, right? Like it once was Rockies. Now it's Michael B. Jordan, right? Like we're transferring the different level of we're transferring the different color of masculinity here. I never loved Tessa Thompson in anything, and in Creed I don't love her in Creed, but I do love Creed.
Yeah. And you know, I think that the world building in Black Panther is really, really effective. It's similar to Sinners. He's really good at building worlds, you know?
Yeah. Black Panther, I think. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. Yeah.
What he does with the worlds is a different story, I would say. Yeah. But there are absolute strengths in Black Panthers that I think are missing from 99% of superhero movies.
Yeah. What he says in Black Panther about Killmonger is some of the strongest political stuff you will ever see in a Marvel film. Like, I like the scene where the CIA director realizes that Killmonger is using their playbook, right? Like, Killmonger is using what the enemy's playbook is, right? Like, and that's an important aspect of understanding politics and understanding, you know, revolutions and et cetera, right? Like, I also like at the end where he was like, you know, a kid from Oakland believing in fairy tales. Like, can you believe it? Like, that stuff. Like, I do think, again, because Coogler is Coogler and because he's so talented, he can uplift like a genre of bad, right? Like he can be a part of this Marvel thing and like make it passable. But I don't want him in that stuff. I just hope that he is, you know, I hope that next movie it can be like less studio based and less but again, the first hour of it is great. And I think the movie goes down after the scene where Smoke visits Annie, which I think is one of the sexiest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Like, that scene is fucking hot. That scene is hot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Winnie is great in the scene. She has such presence.
Yeah.
And I think so much of the movie suffers when it tries to be more than just a film.
Right.
When it tries to be more than just a film, that's when it suffers. But when it's just a movie for an hour, it's great. It's magic. Yeah. So, look. It's going to be between the two. What do you think wins? What do you think should win?
Well, I don't think that one battle should win, but I do think it will win. I mean, and I don't think that Sinners, like, I mean, it's, I love the fact that he made a blockbuster out of nothing, right? Like, thank God this is like new IP. This isn't a sequel. It's not a established franchise. It's not within this world that we're already familiar with. That's great. That's awesome. And that is actually reason to believe that he will go on to do more like this and to keep up the ingenuity. That's great. Do I think that constitutes a movie that should be nominated for 16 Oscars, the most in time? No. That seems like an overcorrection by the Academy, and it was a long time coming.
Or is the thing though? Is it just because they have a lot of categories in the film, right? Like costume design is heavy in the movie,
Right.
All these different things are heavy in the movie. Is it just because of that though, right? Like,
I don't think it's just because of that, but I think that certainly weighs in. Sure, right. Yes, it's nominated a bunch of, let's say, in quotes, because everything matters, but in quotes, lesser categories,
right,
the less big ones, sure. But it's also nominated in a bunch of the big categories, right? It's because we got him for director, best picture, Michael B. Jordan, and
Lindo,
yes, and also supporting actress too. Right.
Yeah.
So it's nominated a bunch of the bigs. I think it's one battle to lose, honestly, and the only way that I see Marty Supreme sneaking in is if somehow One Battle and Sinners cancel each other out, which is a possibility. Weirder stuff has happened.
It's a possibility too, because I think in the hands of people who aren't smart, they could see One Battle and Sinners as like similar anti-Trump movies.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that One Battle is going to win, and the reason for it is going to be like such a statement against the Trump administration.
Right,
It's like, again, as we were talking about, actually the movie's weirdly like anti-woke. Like, it's weirdly like not like pro. It's like not pro Democratic Party. It's not pro anything. It's just like a story about people.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, and so I think I think it's gonna be One Battle, but I wonder if they will make a mistake in how they present this war, right? Like, I hope One Battle wins, and I hope they don't make a big political statement, because I don't think that does the movie a good service. I actually think it does a disservice, and the movie's better when you think about it as just a movie about white supremacy and etc. And then like you have this story, but it's you have these overarching themes, but you mostly just have this story about people, about a father trying to find his daughter, right? Or trying to connect with his daughter, right? Like this generational gap. So I think it's gonna be interesting. I think I guess they'll split Best Director and Best Picture, right? So if One Battle wins Best Picture, then I guess Coogler will win Best Director.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it does seem like this is Paul Thomas Anderson's year to win, right? Has he ever won before?
I don't think he's ever won anything.
I don't. Yeah, because I don't think he won for There Will Be Blood, which won Best Picture, right?
No. That's No Country for Old Men won Best Picture that year instead of There Will Be Blood.
That's right. It should have been There Will Be Blood. I think.
Yeah. I would probably Both movies are pretty good.
They are pretty good. They've kind of
I actually don't love There Will Be Blood. That's not my favorite Paul Thomas. I do appreciate the movie, and I think it's great, but it's not my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I like him when he's a little bit more comedic. Not that there's not.
I love Phantom Thread.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And Boogie Nights. Yeah, Boogie Nights. Magnolia, I need to watch again, but I think I'm okay with it. Punch Drunk Love, sure.
Cruz is amazing in Magnolia. I'm always a
that's true.
The Master for me is like The Master and Inherent Vice before this one.
Inherent Vice, no for me. And
that's a no for you, right? Yeah,
no for me. And Licorice Pizza is an absolutely never again for me.
Licorice Pizza is bad. Yeah, Licorice Pizza is bad.
My God, like what am I supposed to care about in that movie? Like, who's interesting in that movie? Who's appealing in that movie?
Actually,
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper is good. Cooper Hoffman, I actually think is pretty good. And I think movie.
He's fine, but the character I find so annoying, and I know it's based on. Isn't it based on PTA? Isn't it essentially like biography?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Look, I didn't grow up in Los Angeles Valley. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
exactly.
Like
You're right.
I think it's a very personal movie to him. I just don't think it's a good movie. I love The Master. I love The Master. Right? Like that's I love The Master. And then obviously this one I love. I think when I look back at his career, and it's not over yet, when I look back at his career, I think he's done a lot of great American films. I think this one feels like the most movie for someone who isn't a fan of his.
Yes, I totally agree.
That's what I've noticed. Like, people who aren't that big of a fan of his, they love this. I am a big fan of his, and I also still happen to love this. But I've also see that. I think it's his most accessible film yet.
Yes,
I would say that.
I agree.
Right? Like, even Boogie Nights this is more accessible than Boogie Nights.
Totally. Well, Boogie Nights is about porn, and it's got a lot of kind of unsightly behavior that drives the plot that could really get under people's skin. And this is kind of I mean, it is more complicated than that, but it kind of is a kind of good versus evil showdown.
Yeah.
I think ultimately.
Boogie Nights
One
is also
battle.
very. I love Boogie Nights, obviously, but
Me
it's also very mean to women. Like I will say,
Yes.
yeah, it's definitely a movie that's very hard on women in terms of
Yeah.
like the way it views women characters.
Yes.
Not that Julianne Moore isn't amazing in it; she's incredible.
No, she's incredible. I don't think she's ever been better, honestly, since.
amazing,
Like,
yeah.
I have a lot of issues with Julianne Moore's acting, actually, a lot of the time. Yeah, I do. I don't think that she's great. I think that she can approach greatness. And I actually recently rewatched Maps to the Stars, which I think is so underrated. I'm so glad that that movie has kind of gotten a recent reassessment. You notice people talk about it on Twitter. I think as Criterion put it up. It is so good. I never understood why that movie didn't get the acclaim I thought it deserved when it came out. And she's good in it. That's one of her good performances. But when I look back, I feel like they're kind of few and far between. And I like her, and so much of that was built on the back of Boogie Nights. But there's a lot of stuff where I just can't get down with it, including May December.
Oh wow, okay.
So, yeah, no, I don't like May December at all, especially her.
You know what my favorite performance of hers is? Did I tell you this? Safe.
I don't know. Safe. Well, Safe is amazing too. Yes,
I love Safe.
Totally.
Safe is one of my Safe is
absolutely.
I actually still think Safe might be the best Haynes movie. Like
there's
a lot of great
that's
Haynes
a good
movies.
Yes,
Safe is Safe is a great one.
Right.
Okay, we'll look, best actor. Again, I think it's probably a battle. I think there's probably gonna be one guy who I think we all know who's gonna win. I think it's a battle between 4 people. I think Wagner Moore is probably out, right? He's probably not.
Yeah,
people haven't seen that movie, right?
People haven't seen that movie. I don't know. To me, that movie was like super hyped up. I finally watched it and I liked it. And I love the beginning. I love the way that the world is set up and like what we're dealing with. And then I kind of felt like that movie petered out. I kept waiting for that movie to get started after an amazing start, and it just kind of never did for me. It was like a match that just, you light and then it goes out immediately.
Interesting. So it'll be between Timothée Chalamet and Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio and One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke and Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Which I have not seen.
I watched part of it. I was going to watch it last night in preparation for this, and then I got distracted. So I only saw a little bit of it. Honestly, it's a very kind of like transformative role. Yeah. Felt a little dinner theater to me. Felt a little bit like, well, Ethan Hawke is really stretching his legs out. And is he that great of an actor anyway? I mean, he's consistent.
He's done great work. I think
he's done great work.
Great in Boyhood. He's done great work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's done I don't know if he's that's an interesting question. I don't know if he's a great actor.
Yeah.
But he's done great work. He's definitely a good actor.
He's hung in there, which says a lot.
I don't know if he's like I had there's this tweet, you won't, it's a basketball thing, but it's like Jason Tatum is the Paul Georges of LeBron James's. So essentially what he's saying is Jason Tatum's good, but he's also like the least of the elites. Like out of all the elite people, he's like the least best. That's essentially what the tweet is saying.
Yeah, yes.
And that's kind of what Ethan Hawke also feels like. Sean Penn is also in that, where it's like, okay, like I get it, they've had success, but they're like out of all the actors who have had success in American cinema, they're like the least best. You know what I mean? They're like out of all the elite actors, they're the least best. But I like Hawke a lot. I like Hawke. He's been in good stuff. And then I think you got Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. I think he's definitely a candidate.
He's a candidate for sure.
I don't think he's going to win, but I think the main candidates are the first 3 I named.
I agree. I think it's between Timothy and Leonardo. Leonardo has won before.
You don't think Hawke has the kind of he hasn't won before thing that they might push? They might do that.
They might do that. But Blue Moon was a very minor movie. Like, I mean, you didn't see it. I saw part of it. Who's really seen it? Who cares? And not to be dismissive, but literally, who cares?
Yeah, literally, yeah. Who cares?
And I don't know. I feel like Timothy is the one to beat this year. Leonardo might get it because, again, One Battle After Another is beloved, and it's probably going to win a bunch of other trophies. But he won already.
They really botched it with Leo, man. They should have just given it to him for Wolf of Wall Street.
I totally agree. Who won that year? Who did he lose to?
McConaughey and Dallas Buyers Club, which I'm sure we
have
a lot of opinions about.
Actually, I need to rewatch that movie. I did not hate it as much as other people did, and I thought that he was really good. I still would give
Jared Leto is so offensive as
it's true.
It's so offensive playing a trans woman. I don't mean to be like I don't mean to be like,
woke.
Yeah,
You're
I don't
woke.
mean to be. I don't mean to be woke, but it's like, come on, what are we actually doing?
Yeah, but again, like Wolf of Wall Street is like iconic. That is a movie that people put on today. Obviously, it's a movie you could watch at any time. Dallas Buyers Club. Who's going back to that? Come on.
Yeah, no one's going. No one.
So I completely agree with you. That is the one he deserved.
Wolf of Wall Street's an amazing movie.
Come on, like I could watch it any day.
Yeah,
you know,
it's incredible.
and I liked The Revenant at the time, but that's another one where it's like The Revenant. What's The Revenant?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have a vague memory of of that. They needed to give it to him.
They needed to because they missed out on Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those. It's like Whoopi. Yeah. It's like Whoopi not winning for The Color Purple, and then they gave it to her for Ghost, which she's great in. But is that like Ghost? Should Ghost have been an Academy Award winning movie? I mean, I love it, and I'm saying this as a lover of that movie.
Denzel's great in Training Day, right? And he probably he deserves Best Actor for Training Day as well.
Oh yeah.
But also they missed out on Malcolm X, so they had to give it for Training, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
I would have given it to Denzel for Macbeth. I mean, talk about like
crazy. He only has one Best Actor win, and he should rightly have like 3.
I know. Macbeth is a case study in good acting, making Shakespeare make sense. Everything in that movie he says is immediately intelligible.
Yeah.
And like Shakespeare's hard, obviously. Like he's known for it. The big difference between that and Hamlet. When they do the Hamlet play at the end of that movie, it's like, what are they saying? Yeah. Denzel, everything that comes out of his mouth in that movie makes sense. He's that good.
He's really great in it. He is really great in Macbeth, which is not a movie I love, but he is very, very good in it.
I think I love it. I think I actually want to rewatch it. I was so impressed by that. And like, what's her name that plays the witch? Oh my God. Talk about great performances. No. She plays the witches. What is her name? She's incredible. Catherine Hunter. Catherine Hunter.
Okay. Yeah.
That, I mean, just what she did in that movie was wild with the contortion and everything, Yeah. She was in Poor Things too.
I think it is Timmy Salu's. It's a great, retro style performance. Very Michael J. Fox, very Nicholson. It's a little catty. It's intense. It's mean. It's difficult. He's a little bit of a prick, but he's also like ridiculously charismatic and really, really interesting performance. Also, great physical comedy, I think, in the performance. Great physical acting. Very Charlie Chaplin-like. Very physical. Mm-hmm. I love the table, like the ping pong game at the end of the movie is like an excellent scene.
So
it's
exciting.
Like one of the best. It's so exciting.
It's such a good sports movie.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite, up there with A League of Their Own.
We gotta watch. We gotta watch He Got Game. I gotta show you He Got Game.
I would love to. I haven't, and I know that I should.
Yeah. We gotta get He Got Game going. So
yeah.
I also think it'll be Timmy as well. Do you want to talk about Best Actress? I think this Best Actress category is not. Wait, we didn't talk about Sentimental Value. Wait, did you see Sentimental Value?
I did. Boring. I thought it was so boring.
So boring.
I thought it was like, boring. What am I supposed to care about here?
It's boring.
Oh my God. And I love The Worst Person in the World. Okay. I think that movie is fucking brilliant. That's Joaquin Trier's previous movie. That was a huge festival sensation and had a lot of buzz when it came out. People really love the way that it plays with romantic comedy stereotypes, tropes. To me, that movie is masterful. This, I couldn't care less. But I do think Stellan is a shoo-in for supporting.
You think that? Yeah. Well,
yeah, just because.
Yeah, right? Like, it's either, I feel like, okay. Like, I think for Best Actress, like, it's obviously going to be Jessie Buckley, I think.
Obviously. Wait, did you see Hamnet?
I didn't.
Okay. Also, I thought
I don't really
incredibly boring. Wait, you said that. You said, I think we said that when you started, but before we were recording. Yeah, that's right.
I don't feel like I actually need to sit down and watch that movie.
I
should.
Would not recommend it. To me, it's like talk about like privilege. Like the only reason why you should care about the movie is because it's about Shakespeare. But the movie otherwise does very little, I think, to work for your interest. And look, It doesn't seem to matter to people. It's very moving to people. Chloe Zhao's movies do have that effect because
I don't like Nomadland either, man.
I thought it was okay. I wasn't mad at Nomadland because I do really like the way that she blends narrative with documentary. I think that's really, really cool. But masterful in The Rider. Did you ever see The Rider?
No, I did not see The Rider.
Oh, I mean, and I interviewed her for that movie, and she talked about, the first thing we talked about was the way that movie makes men cry, because that was one of the movies that, like, I felt embarrassed to leave the screening room because I had cried so hard while watching that movie, you know? It is absolutely incredible. You realize how much of it is documentary as it goes, and that hits you really hard. That, to me, like, it's like she still hasn't made a movie on that level, and that was really her breakout. I don't think it's her first, but it was her breakout. So this has a similar effect where it really, she knows how to play with people's heartstrings like an instrument, which I appreciate. Hamnet did not do that for me at all. Hamnet I found alienating. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care about dead children that much if they're boring dead children.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean seriously, like
might as well die.
I don't. I don't find Buckley. I also like.
No. I don't believe her performance in that movie either. I don't. I'm sorry.
I haven't loved her. Well, actually, no. That's a lie. I actually do really like her in The Lost Daughter.
Okay. Yeah, I did that movie. I don't really remember. That's another one of those Oscar buzz
movies. That's
Olivia Colman,
Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
I don't remember it really.
I'm a pro Lost Daughter type of person.
All right.
Because it's another movie about kind of like fuck them kids.
Right. Right.
You know. But look. Okay. So.
What I'd like to see, can I just say, what I would love to see, actually, this is probably the most left field ridiculous take I have, is Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I love Song Sung Blue. It's it's definitely in my top 10 for the year.
It's a biopic, right?
Yes, but it's a very weird biopic about a Neil Diamond tribute band.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and which sounds like it could be lame, but then you kind of like sit with it and you're like, it's so fucking weird that these people have a biopic, you know?
Yeah, you know, you are the biopic aficionado.
I am. And I always like to pretend that I don't like them, and then I sit down and I like almost everyone that I watch.
I'm always 50-50 with the biopics. Some of them are fucking awful, but I did like Dylan. I loved the Dylan one last year. I loved it.
I loved that one. I liked Judy. People hate Judy. I like Judy. Judy totally worked for me. I was happy to see Renee Zellweger get that Oscar. So, but Song Sung Blue is a very strange kind of biopic.
Let's quickly
lightning round. Okay.
Yeah, quickly. Let's talk about Best Supporting Actor. Look, I think it should be Benicio. I also agree it'd probably be Skarsgård though.
Probably Skarsgård. I wouldn't mind seeing Benicio win. I didn't watch. I actually turned Frankenstein off after an hour because it looked like Wicked to me, and I just was not having that. So I couldn't tell you how I feel about Elordi's performance.
I think Elordi's very, very good as Elvis in Priscilla. I don't love Priscilla as a movie. I think it's kind of boring. It is boring. It's so boring.
Also, like the big thing about Priscilla is that it whitewashes so much of what he did per her book. The book, the movie is based on Priscilla Presley's memoir, in which she talks about like incidents that are portrayed in the movie that are softened in the movie. Like he throws a record at one point, and in the book she talks about how like it bounced off a chair and hit her in the face. That doesn't happen in the movie. And then in the book she talks about like, you know, at the very end of the movie when she goes to visit him in Vegas, she talks about him raping her during that. That does not happen in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you serving? Like how is this a feminist piece of filmmaking if you're like making the man look better through the storytelling? What sense does that make? Also, I mean, the lack of establishing shots, you have no sense of the scale of Graceland in that movie. I found it incompetent, and I like a lot of Sofia Coppola's movies, but it's a thing with Chloe Zhao where like the Virgin Suicides, I don't think Sofia Coppola has ever topped that movie for me. That remains her best. There's a lot of kind of beginner's luck that we see, I think. But anyway,
Virgin Suicides is a great movie.
Oh,
yeah,
love
Virgin
it.
Suicides is a great movie.
Talk about could watch that at any time.
Yeah, Virgin Suicides is terrific. So, Best Supporting Actress, we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Tiana's absolutely going to win this. Like, absolutely going to win this.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
I don't think she deserves it. I don't think she's that good.
I don't think so
everything.
either.
She's just like she's rushing a lot of the lines.
It's a total performance. Who does it remind me of? It reminds me of oh shit, who is it that does the same thing? Oh God, it's like right on the tip of my tongue. It's this thing where Zendaya. It reminds me of a Zendaya performance where she's just like
Zendaya's not a good actress.
just doing a little too much, trying to seem cool and relaxed. Like Zendaya in Challengers is like she's great to look at, and I like her as a person. But there's just a little too much happening, and I feel like you're trying to win the Oscar. I feel like you're trying to do a thing, and it takes me out.
I think people are tough on Zendaya. I think she is good at times in Challengers. At times, especially when she's playing tennis in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
And in the scene on the beach where the two guys are kind of like trying to, trying to hook up with her. But she's not good when she has some control over art and the whole thing. Like the second half of the film when she has this control over art. Yeah. And control over like the narrative of what's happening between them as a couple. She's not good. Yeah. I just don't believe it, and I just don't think she's like a powerful person in that way, and like I just don't believe it, and
exactly, and it's the same thing with Teyana
like
for me.
A little bit too biracial too. She just has that type of
that mean?
she just has that type of like girl. She just has that type of biracial angel thing where she's like not white but also like not black enough either, and she just like I just don't believe it. I don't believe this like control she's exerting over these two white boys, and it's just like. I think the men are way better than her in Challenger. I think it's the same. Challenger has the same issues that Honora has, which is that it's a movie about a woman, but the men are just way better. Yeah. And so it's like it's I agree. Supporting actress. I would love Winnie Masaku. I think Annie is. Me too. I think she's great as Annie. I would be down with 80 Mag. I by the way, I also really like Weapons. Really liked it.
Oh my God. Well, that would be my choice, right? Like. I love Weapons. I think that performance is so insane. I love that such an insane performance. We're talking about Amy Madigan. I love that this performance is nominated. Like that to me feels like a victory because it's in a horror movie and it's so over the top. It's camp and the way that she's presenting herself is so like her costuming is so ridiculous. She's clownish and yet it works so well in this universe. She makes it real. It is so masterful. I would love to see her win. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's going to be Teyana Taylor.
It's going to be Teyana Taylor. It's ridiculous. What is this world that we live in? Where Teyana Taylor's winning an Oscar.
I love the movie. I love the movie, and I just don't think she's that. She's sexy, and that's she's
sexy.
It's all that matters, really. Like all that.
That's true.
To be honest, all that matters about that performance is she really hot? Yeah. Can you believe that? Both Leo and Lockjaw are fawning over this woman, right? Leo in the correct ways and Lockjaw in all the bad ways, right? Like, do you believe that? And yes, I do believe that she's very sexy. She's a beautiful woman. I don't. The debates on Black Twitter are about the fetishization of her character. That's what a lot of the debates on Black Twitter are about. I think it's one of the best parts about the movie is it has the guts to understand that like black women are fetishized by white men. No shit, Sherlock.
Yes, but also I mean my big issue, and this is what we talked about like right when we had both seen the movie, is just that character falls into these stereotypes of using her body in a way that black women have been portrayed as doing on screen forever. It feels like a really stereotypical role to me where she's like actually like buying into the fetishization and look, by any means necessary, etc. I get it. And yet you're still having your black character do this as a white guy who wrote and directed this movie. So I have issues with that. I just do.
I have less issues with it. I just think, look, you're making a movie. I would prefer you to make a movie than to dance around then make the movie but dance around the idea of all that stuff. Like, I would just prefer you to make the film. I get what everyone's saying. Look, far be it from me to let a white guy slide on things that he's doing poorly, right? If you do think that PTA did things poorly, you should hold him accountable. But I just think a lot of the things I've seen is wishful thinking. It's people who, like, wish that, you know, he didn't make the movie or et cetera, or don't like the fact that a white guy made the movie. Get out of that fucking representation mindset. Art is art.
Yes, I agree. And look, and that political battle is pretty much lost. So I think it is important to kind of pick our battles and to evaluate things for what they are and not what they could have been according to the rules of Twitter circa 2015.
Yeah, it's just like it's giving Oscars so white, and that shit was fucking bullshit, man. It wasn't bullshit. Excuse me.
It wasn't bullshit.
It wasn't bullshit.
And that's why Sinners is nominated for 16 Academy Awards.
It's not bullshit. It's fair. It's obviously fair. Like, of course, Hollywood is white supremacist. Of course, like,
exactly.
These things are. White supremacy is indoctrinated in this country in a way that is so absolutely fucking insane, and like it is a part of every single fabric of American life is white supremacy.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like, it doesn't mean Jada Pinkett Smith deserved to be nominated, or it doesn't mean that Tessa Thompson deserved to be nominated. You know, like, it's just like.
But it does mean that, like, we can never get back the Oscars that Do the Right Thing deserved.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
So
that Do the Right Thing didn't get nominated for Best Picture is so insane.
And you know the Kim Basinger clip, right? Do you remember you've seen Kim Basinger like calling people out on stage? I mean, that's allyship. That was incredible because that was unscripted and she was right. So I don't mind. You know what? Like I said before, whack stuff has been winning Oscars forever. I don't mind an overcorrection that is in favor of various identities that have been overlooked previously, but I do mind when somebody like Michelle Yeoh is going to win over Cate Blanchett for Tar. That is something I will think about probably on the day that I die. I think about that probably every day and how much I hate it. You know, so as much as this stuff is like, I don't care, who cares? It's Oscars, whack shit wins. And then some of them are really.
It matters to me though. No, it matters. Also, Oscars can make. It's not like the Grammys, which like whoever won a Grammy and like their career was made. That's not how the Grammys work.
Yeah.
But the Oscars can make careers.
You're right.
They can make and change careers. Like, generally speaking, I think the Oscars have a fabric in Hollywood that's really important.
It's very true.
Whereas I think the Grammys are a little bit like, it's just a ceremony thing. Like, the Grammys aren't really, like, who cares about the Grammys in relation to music? But I think, like, with the Oscars, they have a fabric in Hollywood that's really important. Okay, look, you got to get out of here, but I do want to ask you one last thing.
Yes.
The Michael biopic. How are you feeling about it?
Oh, I mean, it's estate sponsored, right?
Oh, is it really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So, I mean, look, will I see it? Absolutely. But, like, I'm not interested in Jackson family propaganda. Well, actually, that's actually not true. I'm extremely interested in Jackson family propaganda. I don't subscribe to Jackson family propaganda, but I'll always listen to them talk. I mean, give LaToya Jackson a microphone and I will stop everything I'm doing to hear what she has to say. So I do care actually about what the Jacksons have to say and how they will preserve his legacy in the form that I love so much of a biopic. So I'm there. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'll certainly watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I'll be there too, but I can't imagine that the movie's going to be anything other than what it.
No, well, we should go together.
Yeah, we should.
Let's go see it.
Also, the Prince documentary that's not going to be aired. That is like, that's like my killer.
I mean, talk about estate. Like, just the fact that they're sitting on. Like you know, the release of his unreleased works, like in the form of super deluxe editions, was all tied up in this Netflix thing. And now that the Netflix thing isn't happening, you know, the estate sent out a tweet a year ago. It was over a year ago that said the vault is emancipated, or however they put it, and then have proceeded to release nothing. Do you know that it was fans who released the super deluxe edition vault tracks of the Symbol album? That it was this thing that they put together. It was going to be Diamonds and Pearls and the Symbol album in a super deluxe edition. They just did the Diamonds and Pearls one, and then these tracks were floating around, and fans are the ones that like got them to the fans. So you can listen to those like 40 vault tracks or 30 vault tracks that were supposed to be released that never came out. The fans are doing the work of preservation and posting these concerts and, you know, letting stuff out that's been circulating that the estate is not doing. It is travesty what this estate is doing to Prince's legacy and career, and the fact that they don't want people to see this depiction of him as a human being says everything about what's wrong with them. I'm so sickened by this estate, but you know what? I'm glad that I have those bootleg tracks in perfect quality now. So At least there's that.
At least there's that. Yeah, I totally agree with you, buddy. I just find
It's a travesty.
It's a travesty. They don't understand that this would actually help his legacy.
It would 100% help his legacy.
Like 100%. Like think about like the young kids who don't know his music, who would
Exactly.
then know his music through this documentary, and yeah,
Totally.
they would see him as a real person.
Right,
Tough
an
luck.
imperfect person who's dead anyway, so you can't do anything about
He's
it.
dead. You know
People
what I mean?
like yes, it could only turn people onto him,
Think
warts
about,
and all.
Think about if we were like, oh, we don't want to air Made in America because OJ's in prison. It's like,
Oh my
dude,
God.
it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. You know,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. All right,
It's terrible.
all right. This was great. Always great
Yes,
with you. Always,
it was great
always
for
the
me,
best.
and yes, very great to see you. Great talking to you. We'll see each other soon.
Yes, sir.